Shalom. So today we're going to talk about declaring war on the spirit of lust. But first, I want to take you on a personal journey with me. All right? Because most of the time, when you hear people talk about lust, all they will do is quote scriptures about lust. But that doesn't really do much for you. Because if you want to know about scriptures about lust, all you have to do is take your Bible app, type in the word, and you'll see all the passages pertaining to lust. Knowledge of something doesn't necessarily teach you how to conquer it, and you can go in all these different religions of the world. No matter what their scriptures say about it, that's giving you an insight of what not to do. But how do you really fight it when it comes? So today we're gonna integrate the scriptures in our lives. We're gonna get more personal with it, and I'm gonna allow you guys to get more close to me in terms of experience. So let me first tell you, let us talk a little bit about the water element, because in order for you to understand lust, in order for you to conquer lust, in order for you to master it, you have to understand the element of water and how it influences you, your passions, your sexual urges, your natural urges, how it seduces you. And if you don't understand that, no matter how many scriptures you quote, it's not going to do anything for you. How many people you know claim that they're what they call it, abstaining or doing this or doing that, only to hear them come back out a few weeks after, a few months, to say, okay, I fell back into lust and all of these things. Now, once you understand the nature of the element of water and how it's related to the water inside you, because you were also created of water, right? Which I'll make a separate video regarding the creation of man. You are made of three states of matter. So, in general, you have solid, liquid, and gas. And those three states represent your body, the air, the oxygen, and the water. But we're dealing with water in this video. Now, water is in all three states. So, you have a body, you have a spirit, and then the merging of the spirit and the body into one is called the soul, the mind, right? Now, water in the physical body is relating to all the fluids of the body. So the blood, the plasma in the blood, the water, that's water in the physical body. Water in the soul or in the mind is relating to the feelings and the emotions. And in the spirit, the water is lust. Lust. In the spirit, there's a thin line between love and lust. And a lot of relationships that you see are being created today is really not created out of love, but out of lust. And there are so many deceptions because people do not know how to battle their lust. So their distractions, what they use, you call it a red herring or a decoy. It's like, I cannot fight this thing that I'm wrestling with. So in order for me to pretend as if I'm dealing with it, I need to have a man or a woman in my life so they can distract me from the reality that I'm really struggling. I'm really being conquered by these urges that are rising up in me. This is why we move from partner to partner. Doesn't matter how long it lasts, as long as we're under the illusion that, okay, we're not fornicating, we're not committing whoredom, because I can tell myself that she's my wife, or, this person is my husband, or whatever it is. No, it's just out of lust, because it's not going to go anywhere. You don't really want this person. You know that you're coming from a certain relationship and you're not ready to move into something, but because the natural urges are upon you, you have to get into a relationship to ease those urges. But as soon as the real problems are coming up because you were not properly healed and so forth, now these problems are coming up. You're going to have to do away with this person because you were not ready for it. So once you understand how these spirits of the water influence and seduce you, then you will know not to be subjected to them or to serve them. You serve that which is higher. Lust is a spirit, it's a creature, it's an entity. It can manifest in whatever form. It can be a python, a venomous snake, whatever kind of snake it manifests as. Sexual creatures, they creep into your dreams, they mess with your body fluids, they prevent you from having fruitful relationships. And not only that, they destroy your spiritual life too. They deplete your spiritual power, your spiritual energy. So your defense would be the Bible. They start to separate you, weaken you so much that you don't have that fire burning for the Bible again. You used to be a praying person. They weaken your spirit, your energy, that the power you used to have towards the praying, you find that it's depleting slowly. They push you into isolation. You think that, oh, you don't like to be around people. No, it is separating you so that the people that would strengthen you when you're falling, they are no longer there to know what's really going on. You're locked off. You don't want to tell people anything. You don't want to share anything again. And once they get you into that isolation, they do whatever the hell they want to do with you. Right? So I'm gonna talk now about my sex cycle. So I was in a relationship. And based on the timing that we would see each other, right? When that time comes, and even if I don't see my wife, that urge will come on so strong. And this is where people lose it, because when the urge comes, the next thing is the ear element, the mind is going to create a storyline behind those urges. And this is why people end up being seduced and do crazy stuff, adultery and all of this stuff, whoredom. When you're dealing with feelings, there's always a storyline attached to it. And that storyline can lead you to ruin. That storyline can cause you to regret a decision you made for the rest of your life. Do not fall for them. This is where endurance come in. This is where endurance comes in. You have to be able to endure to the end. You have to know your cycle, your sex cycle. You have to know what you stand for. You have to keep recalling it. You have to keep recalling your principles, your morality. And those are what will carry you through. No, when she went away that weekend, the urge was was extremely strong, because it knows your cycle. It knows when to attack. That's the time it would want to that is the time it would want to lure you away into all these different things. But that's when you have to stand your ground. Do not see that as an opportunity. Do not try to create an opportunity, because there's something influencing you to see an opportunity in that moment where there's no opportunity. And once you act upon that so called opportunity, it's going to depart from you, leaving you now with your conscience to deal with the reality. Are you going to tell your partner what you did? Are you honest enough to do it? Or no, you have to sew fig leaves and cover up your cover up what you did, or start blaming everyone else. or is because of this woman that passed in this tight jeans and was looking so sexy and fine, or this man was 6 feet and he came my way and he was speaking to me and he was so intelligent. And really, so we have to understand these things. We have to understand ourselves, the nature of ourselves, the nature of our very existence, the different layers of our existence. You have to understand how they operate in different situations, right? So, like I said, most people, when they tell you about lust, they'll just quote you scriptures that say, do not do this or do not do that, but they never really tell you how to go to war, how to prepare yourself for the fight, how to fight, when to fight, what weapons to bring, right? So, so after our separation, I have decided to declare war on the spirit of lust, declare war on the spirits of the marine. I'm not allowing it to choose the battleground or the battlefield. I myself is declaring war on it. I'm I have decided to slay the dragon, to slay the venom, the serpent of lust. When you're going down this road, you have to be prepared. You have to know that there's also relapse. And that's where a lot of people fall. Relapse. You make up your mind, but when the battle gets so strong, because like in attrition warfare, where you wear out the enemy, you use up the resources. Yes, you have to look out for that too. So in the first few months, you might be, dominant. You might be doing your thing, conquering. But then over a period of time, when you are worn out, your energy is depleted, your spiritual power is worn down, your lack of consistency in fighting can bring you back to square one. And that square one can be worse than at the normal level, because they're going to come back with 7 more spirits stronger. So you have to be prepared. But I will be keeping you up to date with my journey as I progress, right? Because like I said, I'm coming from a relationship, so my journey has just started. I'm just in the second month of it, and I'm talking about semen retention. It's not just talking, oh, battling lust or whatever. Because some people, when they say they're battling lust or they're doing this, are abstaining, they might be just abstaining from the physical man or physical woman. But then they have all these toys and all these things that they're watching and what they're doing to themselves. That's not, you cannot conquer the spirit of lust when you have given the marine spirits legal rights over you. So when somebody tells you that, oh, they are keeping themselves away from man or woman, and but they're masturbating, what the hell is that? You're keeping yourself away from this, but you're fornicating over here. What the hell is that? Any unlawful sex will give the spirits of the water legal rights, and it doesn't matter how powerful you are with your prayers. It doesn't matter how strong you are with your scriptures. You can quote the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. You can pray 3 times a day. It will not hold any meaning as long as the spirit of the water has legal rights to you. Now you can disbelieve that all you want. You can abstain all you want, but still what do you call it? Indulge in some form of unlawful sex and see what happens. Now your mind is infiltrated, all these weird thoughts, dreams that you never had before. having sex with people you've never seen, that you don't even know, strangers, rich people that you've never met, you only probably see online or heard of. Dead people, people you know that they are dead in real life. You're not ready for that fight. No, I know a lot of you don't believe in mermaids because it's been taught to you like mythology, as well as many other things. But if there's one thing you know about the mythology of mermaids, is that their hour is 12 o'clock, midnight. I think you all know that. No, that is their hour. So that is the hour that you attack them. And to attack them, you need your right equipments, meditating, fasting, and praying. Your sword is going to be prayers. What time do you pray when you're praying against the spirit of waters? The spirit of lust, you're praying against the spirit of lust, or anything pertaining to the water, even diseases, issues in the flesh, fluids. These same spirits, the spirits of the water, is what messes the body up, the liquid in the body. You go to the doctor, you get all these different names, but these are really spirits of the water doing these things. Once you get delivered from that spirit, you'll notice that all those symptoms or signs or whatever the doctor was finding in you, they're no longer there because they were illusions. And this is why so many people got deceived too, because sometimes spirits want to drain your finances. So the spirit can create an illusion as a kidney stone, cysts, or cancer, diabetes, whatever disease. The spirits, there are different levels of spirits, and they can um, manifest in a way to let the doctors see what they want to see. So when you're treating yourself for a certain sickness, that treatment is there to destroy you. Why you think the scripture says, if any among you is sick, go to the elders, let them pray for you? That's the first place you should be going, especially for so-called religious people. You run into the doctor. This is why I cannot understand your spirituality. I can understand your religion. As soon as you feel something, the first place is to the doctor. You don't go to your prayer warriors. You don't go to the ministers of your congregation or whoever you gather with. You just run to the doctor. You don't know if it was an attack on your finances. But anyway, that's it. That's that. So at nights, for me personal, because I'm talking about my personal experience. For me personal, I was naturally getting up at 1 o'clock, 12:53 sometimes, but in that region, I noticed that I'm constantly up, and then I realized, okay, it is what it wants me to do, to pray. But before I had started the journey, I had made a vow because I like to make deals with Yahweh. I like to make I like to make deals with Yahweh. Vow. You do this for me, this is what I will do. This is what I will do, and you do this in return. I like to cut deals with Yahweh. I'm not doing anything without cutting a deal with him. Now, in this case, why the deal is necessary? Well, men will understand this more, and some of you women too. When the pain comes, when the urges of sex come upon you and the pain comes down there, it's not an easy thing to endure. You see, it's one thing dealing with the urges, but when the physical pain comes down there, sometimes it goes all the way to your lower belly. Now you're like this, hunked up. You cannot stand straight because it's like something strong is attached to your belly and down there. Very painful. And that's what conquer a lot of us men. You go buy prostitute, you get into some random sex, to create whoredom or whatever the case is. It's still giving legal rights to the spirits of the water over us. You see, there's a difference with having many wives and doing whoredom. Random sex, then you put away the woman. What's that? That's not, that has nothing to do with having more than one wife. That's unlawful sex. You're defiling the woman, leaving her for another man to come and do the same thing. We're supposed to be undefiled. So I've taken a vow of consecration. The sun, let me move away. So I've taken a vow of consecration, and that's what I'm going through. Because let me tell you something about breakups. The reason why there's so much whoredom in Israel is we don't understand that when you're in a relationship and you have all those feelings and emotions or whatever it is, right? When you physically break up, the feelings and emotions do not automatically end. So the body carries a memory of itself. So there's residue remaining in the body. And if you do not give yourself enough time to purge all the residue, this is why when you jump into relationship with someone else, what happens? The residue start to come back stronger. Now the thoughts are leading you back to that person. So you just came out of a relationship with that person. You're in a new relationship, but you go back to have sex with the same person. Sometimes the residue is still there, and you have to purge your body. You purge the mind already, but the body needs to be purged as well. So you might no longer have any thought towards that person or being with the person, but the residue of the body needs to be purged, and you need to give yourself that time. You call that process healing. It's a purge. So there's no memory, because also sometimes when you move into a new relationship, because the residue of the body is there, it's preventing you to really be with this new person. It's altering the reality between you two, or the love that you two should create. So you want to consecrate yourself before getting into a new relationship. And I'm talking about my personal experience now. So this is my journey. This is the second month of my journey, and this is where it is. So I'm going through my consecration process. I didn't state a particular time on it, but I know that I need to purge the vessel from everything, all the residue. No, because you pray at midnight and you try to be consistent with it, as consistent as you can be. So you might not be able to do it every night because of your situation. Maybe you have to work, or you need to, whatever the case is. You will want to add fasting in the equation. So even if it's just once a week or however often you can get to do it in your process of consecration, right? So if you're gonna pray at midnight against the spirit of the water, you want to let that prayer be in the middle of your fasting. So you'd want to pray, you'd want to start your fast at least 12 hours before, and in the midst of it, you get into that hour of prayer, because in the fasting you're fortifying your mind. You're leaving no open doors. So you don't have to be worried about the enemy. Just be concerned about your vow to the Most High, how you're consecrating yourself or setting yourself apart. So these urges do not have dominion over you, but you having dominion over the water, over the fishes of the sea, the spiritual creatures of the sea. And then after your hour of prayer in the midnight, you have another 12 hour you're still going through that fasting. So you're even fortifying your mind more. You're stronger and stronger. You have to be in constant meditation. Meditation meaning you're meditating on the scriptures, but also you have to meditate on the nature of yourself. You have to remember what you truly are, not who you are, but what you are. Because like I said, thoughts will try to mess with you. What you are is separate from the thoughts. You are the witness to your thoughts, just like you're witnessing the tree. If you can witness the tree, it means that what you are is separate from the tree. If you can witness your thought, it means that what you are is separate from your thoughts. So that is what meditation is. Meditation will constantly bring you back to the remembrance of your true nature, and you stay in that. So the actual goal is not to give the spirits of the water any legal rights to touch you. And then once they have no legal rights to touch you, you can navigate your way through this. And that's how you walk in the spirit. A lot of people cannot walk in the spirit, not because they do not know how to, not because they do not have the knowledge of the law, but it's because they have given too many legal rights to the enemy. We need to break those covenants and create new covenants with the Most High, so we can walk in the spirit, worship him in spirit and in truth. Grace does not fight against lust. Grace does not fight against adultery. Grace does not fight against any form of unlawful sex. So do not be deceived. Oh, you're under grace, so you cannot commit adultery. Oh, you're under grace, so you cannot commit whoredom. Oh, you're under grace, so you cannot create relationship out of lust. Oh, you're under grace, so you do not partake. You cannot partake in unlawful sex. Oh, really? Be wise as serpents. Walk in the spirit. Shalom.